Hi everyone, it's Sue. I'm just back today to just show you what I've been up to with this slow stitching. I did a video and showed you a long length of wadding. I was inspired by Rachel at Roxy Creations, and as well as Anne Brooke, I think her name is. Let me have a look, I've got it written down here somewhere. Yes, Anne Brooke. I'll show you that again. Anne Brooke, textile artist on YouTube, and hashtag sew for the soul handmade. If you are doing it and you want to add photos anywhere, so just put the hashtag, and then yeah, that's Rachel's Roxy Creations by Rachel on YouTube as well. So I did a brief video the other day just showing you what I was doing. Anyway, I had this really long piece of wadding, which I've now since cut down to journal cover size. I just found it was getting too hard to handle, and everything, because it wasn't all sewn down, was lifting and fraying too early. So I cut them, worked out which size I wanted to make them into journal covers, cut them down, and this is just the remnants of what I had started. So I'll just show you this. This is obviously nowhere near covered enough, so I will add more fabric, lace, bits and pieces to this. I did do a little bit of borrow, I don't know how you pronounce that, sorry, borrow stitch there. So yeah, this is just the ones that I've cut down. This bit of antique lace that I had, and it was perfect height. It worked out, I couldn't have done it if I tried. Works out that it fits perfectly on the spine when I fold it into a cover, so I was really happy with that. I've kept the little bits off Tim's fabric salvages, and I've just popped that one there. These are nothing. So I got 5 journal covers out of that one piece of wadding that I cut, and this is the one that I'm working on currently. So this is what I was showing you at the beginning. So really been loving doing it, and so I just thought I'd just show you a little bit of where I'm up to. So hopefully you can see it's a really bleak day here today, so the light is really terrible, but I'll just show you a little bit. And once again, this isn't finished either, I've still got a way to go with this, but you can see all the borrow stitch here that I've done. I've done our stem stitch on this skeleton leaf, which I'm really happy with. I've put some bulb pins, secured them on there. I'll probably do some French knots just along here just to secure that piece of fabric. I've done hundreds, which felt like thousands, of French knots. This was just a little piece of wadding that was exposed, so I just filled that with French knots, and I just made it dribble down here. I've just done a running stitch. So I bought this reddy pinky colour in, just to bring in these colours here, you can see. So this little bit of lace here I've added, I haven't finished yet. I ended up chucking a tantrum because I couldn't rethread the needle. It was late at night, and I thought, okay, it's telling me it's time to give up, so haven't finished cross stitching this one on yet, and I'm going to leave that hanging. As most of you know, I like all my threads and that hanging. So I've secured this piece of linen on with French knots, and I've hand cut some wool felt, stem stitch to stem, and hand sewed these on. More borrow stitch, cross stitch for that. I don't know whether that's a stitch, but I've done that. And this is another one of those skeleton leaves that I stem stitched. I've added a little coffee dyed rosette here, and this is a bit of wadding showing that I'll probably just fill with French knots. I've put this secured the doily on here on the edge with some French knots, and I'm just unsure what I'm going to do This isn't secured, it's just basted at the moment, so I'm just not sure what I'm going to do with that at the moment. This bit here I've just done borrow stitch and then just done some lazy daisies just across there. Is it piston stitch? Love this stitch. I didn't even know it was such a stitch until I watched one of Anne's videos, and I'm obsessed with it. So a friend gave me that beautiful navy lace, and I've actually just popped that there on the front. This is obviously still has to be stitched down. I had a little scrap of fabric, one of Tim's fabrics, which had this postal stamp on it, so I've just cut that out and sewn around there. I've stamped a little piece of calico, so I'll stitch that on. This was just that little bit of eyelet lace. I'll put a button, and then I've done a couple more flowers or whatever they are with the piston stitch in the brown thread. And this, which I love, you can see the texture in that, and I've just hand cut all those 3 different colored green felt, wool felt, and just hand stitched all them on. So that's really nice and textural there. So that's what it looks like there, and that will be, once it's all completed, that will be the front cover. I've got to iron them because I didn't allow enough, what do you call it, seam allowance, whatever, on the little hexies. So these little hexies are going to go, I've got to iron them yet. So just to cover that raw edge there, they will sit something like that. And this here, you can't even really tell that it's stitched, but it's a little bit puffy because of the wadding. I've just stitched on those lines of that fabric. And I know I've got a wooden bird, painted bird button, and I can't find it. I've put it somewhere safe. I just thought that might be really cute sitting there as well. So that's what I've done. And then I had myself in such a state. So yesterday I sat and made a point of organising a bag specifically for this, because I can see that this is going to become a thing and I'm going to be doing more of it. I find that I'm doing it at night time if I'm sitting and relaxing, watching some TV. I don't do a lot of that, but I thought, well, at least it's something to do, and I'm not just sitting there watching TV, I'm being productive at the same time. So I've got so yesterday I organised a bag. So this is a little pouch that I have made, and these will be coming to my website soon. So I've got all my threads and my little mini pin cushion in here. So I've got several needles threaded with different colour threads at the moment, so I just put all that in there. At least I know where everything is. And I've just done little sandwich bags, so these are all paper piecing pieces. I don't know whether this interests you, but these are just little offcuts of fabric, a couple of ruffles that I've sewn that I would like to maybe try and use. So these are all circles, and some of them I have made into Suffolk puffs. These are larger lace bits or larger doilies. These are stamped elements or pieces off the selvage that I thought might be able to be added in. I've added a bag of felt, obviously a pouch. Of course it has to be a Tim Holtz pouch, just a pouch for scissors and glue and bits and pieces. So that's another one. This one, which has become quite big, this is all snippets of lace and trim and that sort of thing in there. And then in the bottom of the bag I've just got bits and pieces of Tim Holtz fabric that I can cut and add to these when I get to them. So so that's, now I feel all organised and I'm not rummaging around trying to find bits and pieces. I can just take this bag, this gorgeous bag here, which I picked up from our local Aldi. Isn't it beautiful? It's supposed to be a knitting bag, but it's my slow stitch bag now. So and then I've got some beads and a few buttons and that I found yesterday when I was looking for that bird button. So I don't know whether I'll use those, but I'll pop them in the bag anyway, and they're there handy if I want them. Sorry about all the pumping noise. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I started in here last night as well, doing, I don't know whether you can see that, seed stitch. Love that stitch too, it's a lot of fun. I've just done that in the blue. I think I did seed stitch over here as well, you can see here. So lots and lots of hours have gone into this already, but I'm absolutely having a ball, absolutely loving it, absolutely loving it. So it does look a little bit crooked, but it's because I've got fabric hanging off the bottom that's not straight. I just don't know what I'm going to do here. I've got to secure this piece of fabric down, but I don't want to do too much to the bird. Oh, and that's another thing that I've done. This is a little bit of hemp cord, and I've couch stitched, I guess, with a bullion. So I've practiced my bullion, which I'm really, really proud of. And I've got that stitched on there with bullion stitches, and then this is bullion stitches on the side here as well. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. Really happy with how it's progressing. I'm not going to do any stitching with you today. Next video I thought I might sit down and do some stitching if that's something that might interest you. I just wanted to give you an update so you can see how I'm progressing with it. But as I said, I'm really, really happy with it, and I'm finding it's really relaxing, and I'm feeling really good about not just sitting in front of the telly and doing nothing. I am actually achieving something. So let me know what you think about it. I'd love to see your slow stitching projects if you're doing any. And as I said, these will become journal covers eventually. But yeah, I'll just keep working away, and I'll see you next time. And maybe next time I'll sit down and do a little bit of stitching. I might start one of the other ones from scratch, so that if you did want to stitch along, you could do that as well. So all right, guys, just want to leave that with you today. Just wanted to give you an update. I hope you're all doing really well, keeping safe, keeping well, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, I hope you get a little bit of crafting in. See you soon. Bye-bye.